Hello, everyone. Just before I start the presentation, I would like a small show of hands. Who here knows about IESF, so I know how deep to go? Okay, that's a quite solid number, so I won't go very deep into the numbers and explanations, what IESF is, what we are doing, but I will go briefly over it just to mark some of the achievements that we are doing. The presentation is called Why Esports because I've been in esports for quite a while. Actually, 18 years in Singapore, 2005 was the first time I actually got familiarized with a national competition during World Cyber Games. So 18 years later, I'm back into Singapore again and speaking on a stage about what it actually means because I truly believe in it. And that's why I'm here. So briefly, this is an exclusive information also because today we are announcing that we have 140 member federations from all over the world, which is a huge achievement from IESF. 3 years ago, we only had like 60 federations, which only shows the growth of esports and the value that the national federations are actually giving back to the community and to the esport athletes everywhere. If you can see the scheme here, we have from all the continents. We are missing an Oceania body. It will be happening once we get more members from the region so we can actually contribute and do some meaningful and valuable competitions and networking in the region. In the meantime, the 4 continental bodies that exist in the world are all united and working together with IESF, which is PAMESCO for the Pan American region. It's EEF, the European Esports Federation for Europe, Africa Electronic Association, and the Asian Esports Federation. So those 4 are all working together with IESF to develop a proper ecosystem in esports and make sure that every continent is different. You know, when you go to Asia, it's different. When you go to America, it's different. Africa, Europe, they're all different. They all need different things. They need different stages of development. They need different kind of assistance. And of course, we can all learn from each other. And that's what IESF does, actually. It gets all the best experiences from all over the world and shares them. Because I guarantee you that what works in, I don't know, in Sweden, it doesn't work in Somalia. And whatever works in South Africa, it doesn't work in, let's say, Romania. So it's quite different, and we are here to identify the different needs and different options and share it with everybody as much as we can. These are some of the milestone achievements we had back from 2008 when IESF was created in Korea, and it's still headquartered in Korea, and that's like our home, our legacy, and that's where IESF will remain. It was founded in 2008 by 9 nations, and those were different times, for those of you that remember, when you couldn't actually just PR yourself to be big, to be large, to be influential, or to be relevant to somebody. You actually needed to do some work, not just using, I don't know, Twitch bots or using fake numbers, just to portray that you're actually doing something. It was very difficult back in the days, and I think that surviving for this long and being sustainable and being able to grow and the way we grew is quite a good example of good governance and how actually an esports federation needs to run in the world. 2016, from 2013, this is a very key moment when we became WADA signatory. That's the World Anti-Doping Agency. That's one of the roads, one of the things you need to achieve in order to become member of IOC and be part of the sports community, of the old sports community. So since 2013, that's 10 years that we are WADA, and on every world championship that IESF does, we do testing, anti-doping testing. We do anti-doping education for the athletes because they are athletes and they need to know what substances are allowed, what substances are not allowed, because they use enhancements also, like everybody in all the sports. 2016, we identified that there is a huge need for a summit where all our stakeholders or our federations can actually present their cases, their situations, and what they do best. So now, 7 years, we're still doing it, and it's really one of the remarkable summits that is happening. It's every year in Busan, in South Korea, so hope to see you all there, and hope we will be able to integrate with ESI again on that one. 2019, another very important thing is the Esports Liaison Group created by the International Olympic Committee, in which IESF took a role since then. And we've been on all the meetings that happened. There was not a lot of movement, you're all aware of that, because The bigger the organization, the slower it moves. That's laws of nature. It doesn't matter who wants what, it's slow-moving process. In 2019, IESF applied to GIFES. GIFES is Global Association of International Sport Federations, which now unfortunately is no longer existing, but that was one of the roads for IESF to get recognized by the IOC. We applied for full membership. We got the letter that we fulfill all membership criteria except one. IOC has identified 5 global bodies for esports, including IESF, and they gave us the task to unite everyone. We said, okay. We started talking to all of those other members. We got all of them but one to join us and get esports recognized. So back in 2021, esports was already going to be sports recognized by the IOC if we managed to achieve unity among all stakeholders. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it for only one organization, but hopefully tomorrow, the days that come, the Esports Liaison Group will be reactivated and we'll be able to see this road for esports moving forward in a positive direction. And it's not about regulation, it's not about control, it's about helping and empowering and being able to give the esport athletes same rights and same opportunities as traditional sport athletes have. Because they don't have it at the moment. Believe it or not, in many countries you win a gold medal. If you are winning a gold medal, I don't know, in judo, you get lifetime of pension or salary, or you get prize fund from the country because you achieved something for your nation. In esport, that doesn't happen. Some countries do it, some countries don't. Also, from the 140 members that we have in mind that over 60 are already recognized either by their governments or by their national Olympic committees. So this movement is going forward. We had a very interesting movement in Europe now that Sweden recognized esports as a sport, which is first full recognition because Finland is supported by the Olympic Committee and recognized, but Sweden got it also from the Ministry of Sport. So now EU is moving, and we all know that when EU or the United States do something, the rest of the world just follows. But we never should forget that actually Asia, especially Southeast Asia, was the leader in this, and they all started this movement from there to the rest of the world. So we had quite a lot of cities, host cities and world championship. This year it's in Iași, in Romania. Last year it was in Bali, a very unique experience for those that were there. You all remember how nice it was. Deb, you remember? Yeah. So we had a wonderful experience with an outdoor event, and again this year we are going to do another outdoor event. What we did in Iași, in Romania, is we managed to mix culture, learn from our experience in Bali, mix culture and esports. They have like 500 years old palace, which is huge, and the event is going to be partially in the palace, partially in front of the palace of culture. And another notion that we did, because Iași is the historical capital of Romania, now we are calling it the esports capital of the world. So every year our host is going to be named the esports capital for that year. This is something that exists now, for example, sports capital, youth capital, culture capital. Now we are already doing this. It's the esports capital of the world. So for this year, it's Iași. It's a small city, 300,000, but huge heart, huge potential for this event, and hopefully you will all be able to see it, or at least follow us online and see what we do. The main thing that I wanted to say today is, we all hear, is it sports? It's not sports. What is it? How it does? So I'm going to give you a brief comparison to understand, and the question, what is esports? It cannot be answered with a definition. I know 1 + 1 always equals 2, but this is something that everybody needs to understand, that esports is whatever it needs to be for the person taking part of it. So let's take an example. I used FIFA here, but you can use any sports body that you want to do. What is esports to IESF? It's an ecosystem. What is football to FIFA? They're building an ecosystem through it, with all the leagues, all the federation, and all the clubs that are playing. For the football clubs, it's business. For tournament organizers, esport clubs, esport teams, publishers, stream platform, it's a business. For the players, for all the players, because without them there wouldn't be any esports, but for them it's actually a job and a career. Yes, it started as a passion, as fun, but it turned out to be job and career. And I just heard people, that they're signing one-year contracts, which is, not so stable for them, but majority of them are certain that if it's not that club, there will be another club. And, even in real sports, you have one-year contracts. So that's not something that is very scary, but it's something to look forward to. For the fans and the spectators, same, both sports and esports, it's passion. They want to cheer for their team, they want to cheer for their country. We are working on getting them to cheer a bit more for the countries, because national pride in esports, the level is quite low at the moment, especially in the rest of the world. Asia is quite good. They really support, they always send their best teams to represent their countries, which is not the case with other continents. For the governments, it's a development tool. They can develop tools, they can reach the youth that cannot be reached in any other way, because they don't listen. They don't listen to teachers teaching history or geography in their classes. But if a teacher comes who is an esport teacher and tells them something, there is a hidden message in esports, and you can teach them values of life, respect, and that is very important thing, and esports is quite a good tool for the governments that are actually utilizing it and using it at the moment. And for the brands, what is it for the brands? For the brands, if it's sport or entertainment, it doesn't change a lot to the brands that sell the sporting equipment or the IT equipment that is behind esports. For them, it's marketing, it's promotion, and it's sales product. So it's all connected, and it's exactly the same. Now, this presentation shows sports on top, esports on the bottom. It should have been the other way around, because sport was developed from the bottom up. We all know that. First, it was grassroots, amateurs, and then the professional leagues and everything happened. In esports, it's vice versa. We are starting with already, like the Premier League in football, it's already there. We have ESL, Blast, PGL, DPC, the International, Intel Extreme Master. Everything is already set up on the top level. But on the grassroots level, it's quite complicated and it's not that easy. And we are working to get that sector and that part of this developed properly and as it should be. So, as I said, the name of the presentation is Why Esports? Because it's young, it's community-driven, and I wouldn't say it's uncontrollable, but it has a soul of its own, it has a mind on its own, it's almost like it's alive, because nobody can actually control it, neither a government or a publisher or anyone. Maybe you can, block it for a while, but again, it will pop up, like the grass that comes up. It will always find a way to make what needs to be done. Now, the second thing is, why IESF? You are all aware of the current ecosystem in the federation sector, that there are multiple federations in the world claiming to be the body. But why IESF? Because we care. We care about the athletes, we care about the players, we care about their well-being, and we care about their education, we care about their future. We've done great things with IESF here, our friends, in actually educating the world, and it started really good and it's going forward. It's not always about money. Yes, we have prize fund on our World Championship, it's $500,000. It's not as shiny as 40 million or $45 million, but there is a substantial amount of value that those athletes are taking home. I can tell you last year seeing the guys from Somalia in Bali, and seeing the guys from Chile, and the guys from Panama, and from all over the world, coming to the World Championship, back home, they are relevant already. They already gained an experience that you cannot actually buy with money. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You cannot come to the World Championship and play only because you're rich. It's not a pay-to-win game. You need to earn your position, you need to earn your place. And then they come back home, they're heroes, they bring values, they have medals. I'll give you an example of because I'm from Macedonia originally. The Macedonian Counter-Strike team won the finals twice in a row, so we're 2 years in a row championship. Once a year Europe and twice in the world. We got esports recognized. I worked 17 years to get it recognized, couldn't do it. We win 1 gold, and the government notices that we won gold on the World Championship. 6 months later, esports is recognized in Macedonia. Then Montenegro started, now Serbia started, now Bosnia, Slovenia, Croatia. So the entire Balkans now is following what Macedonia did. And this is what happens. Value. not money. This is something that is very important for everybody to understand. I know money is good, you need money to work, we all need money to work. We can get the money. If we just do the things that are right, if we do things that we need, then the money will come at the end. I guarantee you that. And the question, why now? Well, as they say, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. Second best time is now and today. So we need to move now because esport is no longer a kid. It's not a baby. It's already after college. It's graduated. So it needs a job. It needs a stable home. It needs proper guidance. And hopefully IESF, with the support from all our partners here, present, past, future, that are sitting here, we will be able to make a change. Thank you. Now, if anybody has any questions, just briefly.
Thank you. Kalimera. My question is, we've brought up a lot, and this is a big problem we all deal with in esports, is that somebody does own the game, right? The publishers own the game. Nobody owns the game of football. That's often brought up. So I guess my question is, how are you as a federation having to do things maybe a little differently than the traditional sports federations to overcome that obstacle of the fact that you do have to play nice with the publishers and you do have to deal with them because they have the ownership?
Well, I'll answer this and I'll give you a comparison after that. So we are doing it by fostering good connections with the publishers and explaining that we are not there to regulate them or to do any damage to them. We're actually to help them have a healthy ecosystem and promote responsible gaming. Because publishers, if you look at it from the parent side or from the government side, are a menace. I have an 11-year-old kid, I can't get him off Roblox, And for me, Roblox is like the enemy, But when there is somebody teaching my kid that you need to go and Roblox 2 hours a day, not 20 hours a day, then it's a good thing. And this is why the federations are needed there to just be able to foster that communication to the kids, because I told you, my kid is not going to listen to me. He's not going to listen to the teacher. But if there is some famous player or someone, a teacher there that teaches him how to play the game, and if he tells him, look, like a coach, look, you need to do this 2 hours a day, you'll be a better player. He'll stop, he'll listen, he'll follow. But as you're saying, the difference, publishers, yes, they own the IP, of course. It doesn't mean that there won't be another IP or that IESF will not build an IP like we see some other federations building their own digital version of sports IPs. But what if football is free? All the major players, all the major leagues are already somewhere part of an ecosystem. Yeah, the grass is free, the ball is free, but what's the value on that? Who's going to watch? Who's going to cheer, right? And one example, take 3 things out of boxing and what it becomes. Listen, so you take out the referee, you take out the gloves, and you take out the ring. What it looks like? It's a street fight. So take any sports you want. Remove 3 rules from the sport. It's nothing. It's no longer a sport. That's why certain rules are needed, not like regulate and fine and punish and money and all that thing. No, just a framework or a road where we all need to go, and we can all go together through that road. Okay, thank you everybody for your attention, and looking forward to seeing you.